Welcome to a Chart Nerd technical analysis video. Today we will be discussing the likes of XRP against USD on its monthly time frame. Now before I start, this video is not financial advice and is all for educational and entertainment purposes only. However, I hope you do enjoy the content. So just a quick recap on XRP. We was caught in this 7-year triangle of this symmetrical triangle of resistance and support, and as of November we had the breakthrough and actually smashed through this resistance. Now following into December, you can see that we have had this nice pump which took XRP up to $2.85, and as of since the start of this week, we're actually currently sitting back down at $2.34. Now nonetheless, since this breakout and this retest on support back in November, XRP is up a whopping 355%, and there's a lot of good news going on about it, about RLUSD, the QFS, a lot of things. So do go and obviously take a look into the relative news for XRP, but just studying the charts here, I do have some technical targets that I just wanted to quickly recap of where I think XRP is heading to this cycle. So from current prices, again, we may sort of come down over the next couple of weeks, we may not, we may continue. I will dive into that shortly, but from current prices, I think the 1272 at $8.30 will be met pretty easily for XRP, especially after seeing the sort of momentum in this breakout here. If we look back to what happened back in March after we broke out of this triangle here, the sort of 4 to 5, in fact the next sort of year for XRP was really fruitful. So if we are to see something very similar again, I think $8.30, which is a 2.4x from here, is very achievable, and pushing on to the extensive targets, my 1618 target sits at $27, which is still a 10x from current prices. Now again, if you was getting back involved or holding XRP all through this sort of accumulation range in this last 7 years, some people in fact have only just started, if they've been holding since January 2018, have only just started to see some profits, you know. So if you was getting involved back on these support levels, fantastic. And you know, if we do sort of pull back over the next couple of weeks, it wouldn't be too alarming. And I wanted to show you some sort of signals and correlations here, and why I think XRP may decide to come back over the next couple of weeks and come back to a key level of support before continuation. So these are my bull run targets. You've got $8 at the 1272, which I think will be met relatively quickly once we reclaim the 1 fib and the all-time high, and then the 1618 at $27 is my sort of euphoric target for XRP potentially in the next 6 to 12 months. Now nothing that I say is financial advice. So what I wanted to show you guys really quickly actually was the XRP BTC pair, and we was sort of analyzing, I did a couple of posts on this on X back in, where was it? I think it was actually September or October, and I was saying XRP BTC has come back down to the range where every time in the last sort of, where was we back here? 2014, in fact, you can see that we've had these lows for over 10 years. And when XRP does, the XRP BTC pair does get down to these support levels, you can see this is where XRP tends to have those large sort of breakouts. And we have had one as of the last 2 months as well. And it's going in correlation with the price of XRP. But what I wanted to point out here that might be giving the game away as of recent, to a pullback for XRP, is the fact that we have run into the last 4 years of resistance on the XRP BTC pair. So since 2021 June, we had the resistance created, we came back, we ran into this resistance again a year later in October 2022, we then came back, ran into it again in July of 2023, came back to a macro key level of support throughout June to October this year, and then now you can see we've had the breakout and we've actually ran into this resistance once more for a 4th time, and you can see that XRP against BTC is sort of being pushed down from this wick here. So if we are to sort of meet this range as resistance, you can see I've got this sort of range here where we're sort of caught between a level of resistance up here and a level of support. Could XRP over the next couple of weeks start to XRP BTC come back to this key level of support that it's been was holding, should I say, throughout 2023? So you can see here for sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months we were holding support. Now we've run into resistance. Could we see a pullback here on the XRP BTC chart before going for the next break? And what we could initially form here by doing so is you've got this left shoulder right here, you've got the head, and if we do come back on the XRP BTC pair and form this right shoulder and eventually take out this resistance and the resistance we're currently running into now, then I think we're looking really good in the next sort of couple of months leading into next year for XRP. And this is where the last sort of pullback happens before that breakout initially occurs, and you start getting to those sort of over extensive targets on the XRP BTC pair. Again, we're only sort of, I wouldn't even say halfway back to this move to these highs on the XRP BTC pair. In fact, the sort of 50% ratio, or the golden ratio, sorry, the 050 specifically, so 50% from this low back to that high, the sort of 50% ratio is at 0.000039. And right now we're at 0.22. So I think if we do sort of get a pullback over the next couple of weeks for XRP BTC and then get that right shoulder, eventually I think we do see a push up to the 050 in this 50% range again, which is also areas of interest and were previously levels of support and levels of resistance over the years. So I think we are trying to get to this level. It's just whether we get there over the next couple of months quite rapidly, or whether we do see a pullback at this major sort of 4-year resistance level we're at now on the XRP BTC pair, which would indicate a pullback in the XRP USD pair. So what I'm trying to say here is we're at key resistance, multi-year key resistance on the XRP BTC pair. If this does come back down for a couple of weeks, you've got this sort of support line from 2023, roughly around 0.4015. And if it does come back to there, I think it could offer a fruitful opportunity before taking off here into space for XRP going into Q1 2025. So my outlook initially on the XRP BTC is that we're caught between a rock and a hard place. We've seen a fantastic bounce over the last 2 months from key support, but right now again we are at key resistance, so there is some sort of caution we need to be treading with it. So going back to the XRP USD pair and looking at the XRP USD pair, you can see that we have again had this massive sort of pump up here over the last couple of months. And if we zoom into the weekly, if we have sort of put in a local top here, where could we sort of be pulling back to for support? Well, again, this is a very, very impulsive move. And if I just sort my fibs out here, I'm going to get the 0236, the 382, and the 0501 for us. I think potentially these could be some sort of fib targets to look out for over the next sort of coming days or weeks for XRP. Now, you've got the 382 at $1.46, which is a potential play here. Again, this ties up with this previous cluster, small cluster of resistance and support. You can see we ran into it as resistance for a few days, came back and then broke out. We could initially come back to that, but first we have the 236 at $1.90. If we can see some sort of pullback here and hold this as support, then that might be it before the next leg up. Okay, it might be it, but failing that, if we do sort of come back in any larger correction, potentially look for the 382 at $1.46, and if that doesn't hold and this is in an even larger pullback from such an extensive move, you've got the 050 at $1.18, which I think would be max opportunity to get involved on XRP. Now again, I'm only using let's get the fibs on here as well. I'm EMA, sorry. I'm only using these sort of fibs as an example of where XRP could be retracing to. And again, this is a very, very volatile, explosive move, and it could continue. Okay, but just to be cautious, again, looking at the XRP BTC pair and getting a fib on from this local high back down to these sort of lows on the 4th of November before we form the bullish cross, because you can see we've got the bullish cross on the daily here, and ever since then it's just been vertical. Okay, it's just been vertical. So since this low where the move actually started, this is how we've got the fib on. So going from the high back to that original low, and these are the sort of support targets that I'd be looking for. Now again, I don't think the 050 at $1.18 will come. It could do, but I might be asking too much, as that from current prices is a drawdown of roughly about 48%, 49%. It could do, it could happen, guys, but with all the bullish news, you also have the 20 EMA and the 55 EMA creeping up here. Now these here are some sort of confluence. If this 20 creeps up and the price comes down, XRP could just be looking for a retest on its daily 20 EMA, and at that case this would tie up with $1.90 on the 236 as that creeps up and as we creep down in price. That could be a really good entry point, albeit support holds. So $1.90 is something I'll be looking for, but failing that and you do come down again, at that time this 55 might start creeping up, and this is where the 382 could act as support at $1.46. So you've got $1.90, $1.46, and $1.18 as key support levels moving forward for XRP. Again, these do not have to come into play. This is just the sort of key levels of support I'm looking at on the daily time frame here. From this rejection at the local high at $2.88, retracing back to where this pump started on the 5th of November at 49 cents. So it's just what the charts are telling me. You've got the EMAs, this red 55 and this yellow 20 as support. You've got the 236 and the 382 fib levels as support on the way down, and they could offer great opportunities moving forward. Not financial advice. So just to confirm, and before I go, guys, fantastic signs over the last couple of weeks. We have the 20 and the 55 as support here moving forward, and we have those fib targets I've just given you. My extensive targets for XRP once it reclaims this all-time high is $8.30 at the 1272 fib extension, and if that gets claimed and taken out, I think the 1618, which XRP actually met last cycle, could get met again at $27 this cycle. Not financial advice. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. From Chart Nerd TA, take care. Peace out.